Hello, welcome to Yorkshireman Models. Today we're going to be doing the MIG 17F Fresco. I've done an unboxing of this kit, so if you'd like to see it I'll put a link up, but other than that, let's get cracked on, let's get this kit built. Be looking forward to doing this one. It's a typical Airfix build, this, with the looks of it to start, because you're building the cockpit section. So you put floor in there, and then you put in your instrument panel piece in there. There will be a decal to go on that, I'm pretty sure on it. And then you put in these two halves together. I found it easier not to worry too much on the instrument panel piece until I'd actually got them together, and then just pull that into place like so. Just a couple of dobs of glue. Typical Tamiya extra thin with me, it's my favourite, so you'll see it all the time if you watch my videos. But I do use other glues. Then you've got the rear exhaust section of the engine. A little bit fiddly, that only fits one way, really. You've got two pins sections so that it drops in like that. And just a dab of glue round, let it soak round, and then it holds it all together. You put that then into your fuselage piece here, and again there's locating pins, so it makes it nice and easy for you when you're doing it. There's a clear part that you have to put in here, that before I proper spray it all up, I will put some liquid masking over that, but this is just putting some grey into the cockpit, just to give it a nice bit of colour. And a little bit here where the cockpit's going to sit as well, just in case. You can see its sides a little bit, but you tend not to really. That one just sits in like so. And this is where you'll see me using different glues as well. I'm using the Revel one here, which is pretty good. It's one of the better ones, because that needle on it, that dispenser for glue, it's damn good really. Gets right into some of the joints that you want. But going around outer edges like this, always back to thin. And I'll just go around all the edges and seal it all up. The underside bit where the guns house and that, and the actual covers over the wheel well for the front wheel. I just had to pull it a little bit then, just to make sure it all glued nicely. And then that just sits in there. Got to drill holes here if you're going to put the ordnance on the outside or external fuel tanks, wherever it is. So follow what instruction says, and I just use my little hand drill here. And the wings just glue together like that. You can already see where there's a bit of detail for the where the undercarriages and all that is. Again, the wheel well area. And that'll just go round, just steadily. Just make sure that you don't do that. That's what you've got to make sure, because you touch it, sometimes you'll leave a mark. I had to sand that a little bit, not much. Again, another clear part, don't forget to put that in. Didn't really want to sit perfectly, so I just had to nudge it into place with my knife. Kept wobbling about for some daft reason. The wings just slot straight in. Look at that, perfect. I do like it when they're easily going. There's no messing, no trying to hold them into place where they're all wobbly and they're out of shape. That's perfect, that. Brilliant design in my view. There. Tail ones, again, simple enough. I did actually on one of them have to cut one of the nubs down a little bit for some reason. I don't know whether it were being a bit longer from when it had been made, but it just wouldn't sit in completely right until I cut about a mil or two off. And the rear ones, again, you just push them in, double glue, make sure they're in the position you want like so, and you're right. Easiest way to make these I found was they keep it laid flat on the actual table. Get the leg and just put it straight to it like that. I don't know whether it's me with my fiddly fingers, but I found that the easiest way there like that. I'm doing the air brake sections closed up. It's just what I want to do. I could do them open if I wanted, but decided to do it like that. And the ordnance, it's going to go under wings. This again is simple. Right, we all plan what to do it in these colours. I really like the look of it, but you can't get the matte marine green in acrylic. It's only in enamel. I didn't really want to be buying little pots of enamel, and it means having two different greens. In all honesty, I've got something that would probably, like the NATO green or the olive green, would probably do for the darker one, but I've got nothing that is like the 105 matte marine green. So I'm going to have to go to plan B. Oops, inside. Plan B, and we're doing it in the Russian one instead of the Vietnamese. So we're going to do it like that. It's all I can think of to do, to be honest. Shouldn't be a problem. Right, this is Mr. Servicer 1500 black primer. Just getting it down. I probably spraying this at a little bit too high a pressure, to be honest, looking at it, but even so, comes out perfect at end. Now I've turned the pressure really down. It's down to about 8, 9 at the most PSI to put the silver down. It's very, very thin, the Vallejo silver. It's a cracking paint, but you've got to be careful when you're spraying it because you can overdo it and leave run marks. Thin coats, let it build up steadily. That's the best method I've found when I'm doing it. But when it's down, I'll tell you now, it looks absolutely great. One of the best I've ever used. Way better than your normal silvers than you get from Tamiya and that. Really, I should have done this the opposite way around. I should have sprayed first some normal flat black there, and then I should have put the masking tape over that, but daft reason for me, I've missed it and I've had to go back and do it like that. But painting up the wheels now, using up some more of that black that I've got there. It's my Tamiya flat black. It's not the best paint this for using for painting up like this with a brush. Tamiya's better is Vallejo and a few others, but I'm using what I've got available anyway, handy straight away. Put a bit of Tamiya clear down just to seal all the painting, give it a bit of protection, because I'm now putting decals on like this. It does help a little bit, a clear gloss. I find it does. Some people say it don't make any difference, but it's all down to what you prefer. I'm only putting the main decals on. You do get some very little tiny decals as well, but they're that small, that tiny, I'm not bothering with them, to be honest with you. We're just going for the ones that stand out like these. And you can move the decal about a little bit when you've gotten the clear coat down. If it's a flat paint underneath and you've not got that ability to move it, you've got to be pretty precise when you're first putting your decals on. I am using a decal solution. It's Microsol and Microset. The best I find for certain decals that are, you know, they're not right thick and stuff like that. It works lovely. Pin wash, but just on the panel eyes and detail here. I don't want it all over kit this time. I'm trying to keep it clean, brand new, just built kind of look. So brush, really thin down, black oil, and just dip it in like this. Probably a bit too much there, but hey. It does help if you just let it just run off of the brush a little bit on the side of your pot or dish or whatever, if you're using like I do, but I didn't that time. But it all just wipes off easy enough. I'll show you in a second. But like you can see there, that detail on the right hand side there, it's all coming through. And there you go. It just rubs off easy enough. And if it hadn't dried completely when you're doing it, you can always go back with a little bit of thinners just to make sure that it removes any excess that you don't want there. Now we're doing the undercarriage. A little bit tricky and finicky to some parts of it, but not too bad. I've had a lot worse. I think a lot of the problems is because it's 172 scale and it's rather small, but that one fits in absolutely perfect. This is the weird one in my view. That fits on a slight angle. You think to yourself, that don't look right, but that's how it's sitting. And that's how it shows you actually in the diagram. And this part, although it looks like a leg that's going to sit into something, it doesn't. It just sits up against it, like so. And like I say, that's kind of what it shows you on the diagram. It's hard, until you've actually done it, it's hard to be 100% sure. And that's just your hydraulic arm that's going in now, just that pulls the actual wheel up and down. The leg up and down, should I say. That's just got a couple of locating pins you can sit it to. It's not too, you know you've got it right when that's in there like that. Well, I hope I've got it right, and if I hadn't, if anybody had told me, I'd be grateful. You can either put the wheels on first or put them on before you put the leg in. I've gone that way. And the front one, a little bit weird, goes in and then pushes backwards. So you need a pair of tweezers here because you've got to push it into like a slot that's in the side wire instead of straight down. But once dried, it's solid, so that's the main thing. Last of the doors for the undercarriage. Again, these front ones like this, they just sit into a recessed slot, so they're lovely then. The guns, just putting them in. Everything's coming together now, absolutely great. There's two guns this side. One there, and then slightly larger sits there. So it looks like you've got a cannon and probably two machine guns. And these bombs, well, whatever they are, these sit underneath. Right, I'll be honest with you, I've cut the locating pins off the very front of it, kept the two at the back, but the very front ones, don't ask me why, they didn't fit with it. Even though I drilled them where it showed you, there's actually a mark for them to drill, they didn't fit in properly, so I just cut them off. I always put small parts like that on at the end. If I don't, I break them. A little bit more black now just to put the guns in at the ends for the barrels sticking out. And final, this is Windsor Newton flat on it. It's a clear flat, should I say, just so that it all blends in and all looks perfect then together. Seals all the actual kit in as one. And this is the hope and pray when you're pulling these off that you've not made a mistake and you've had paint leach through. If you do, you could usually take it off with a cocktail stick, just rub it off slightly. But this one looks like it's been a good one. I do hate masking up 172 scale. It's very fiddly, but it's just part of modelling that if you want to get that nice finish, in reality, you've got to do it. In my view, I mean, you can hand paint them if you want, and some people are absolutely brilliant at hand painting. I've done a video on it before, and you can see on mine, definitely better when I do them with the actual masking version. And that glue I'm using here, it's just Elmer's dries clear, but it's purple. It's just like a normal white glue, to be honest. Well, I'm just taking the last of these little maskings I've done over them. You can see there, look, it's come up lovely, that, just as you like it. I wouldn't recommend leaving any of them on for more than a couple of weeks at maximum. Probably come off within a week, I'd say. I once left them on a kit. I couldn't get them off for love nor money. Took forever. I'd left them for a few months. But yeah, you can see she looks lovely as a kit. It is absolutely beautiful to build, really is. I'll build another one of these, but I'll make sure I've got the green paints next time so I can do it in the colours that I want. But it's a lovely little kit, lots of nice detail. The decals are fantastic, good on, beautiful. You never have a problem these days with these new Cartograph decals. They're great. It is one of the kits that I've built recently that I've been really happy building. But to say I were a bit pessimistic, I'd say, about painting it silver. But you look at it, it's come up lovely, hasn't it? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and please check out some of my others. I've done quite a few Airfix kits now, and I've done a few kits now in silver. Now I feel I'm getting a bit better when I'm doing silver. It's always a bit of a should I, shouldn't I, because silver sometimes can look horrible. It don't work right, but this one's brilliant. Be grateful if you'd give me a thumbs up, or subscribe's even better. Subscribe's fantastic, gets me more viewers on the channel. YouTube start and realise the channel's getting more popular and they pump it more. So if you can subscribe, really grateful. But thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I see you around for next one. Have a good one.